Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome in to the PHNX Suns pregame show. I'm Lindsay. That's Saul, that's Flex, and that's Espo. And tonight, the Phoenix Suns will be taking on the Sacramento Kings. Both these teams got bounced from the in-season tournament, so now here we are.
Losers.
Game 2 of the week.
Yeah, we're back to boring December basketball.
Doggone it.
Losers bracket here.
Does the loser get a claim like they were seventh in this? Or
No, because I
sixth?
don't
How
think
does
you
it
made
work?
any money until it was the
No, you didn't.
No, you made
semifinals.
money.
No, they made money.
Oh, they
made money.
did?
They made 50 grand.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you had to get to the semifinals to make
Nope.
money.
As soon as you made the
shout out
in-season
to
tournament.
the Suns for making 50 grand each.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I think winner of this
Heyo.
game should get it all. Let's put some stakes in this. Yeah, well, winner gets 100K, the loser gets nothing. How about that?
I mean, that could be
From
kind
the
of fun
50
if
that
they
they
would let
got?
them do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I would do
I'm
that.
not mad at it.
Well, shit, we underhanded there. No, I'm not doing
Not
that.
e-
I
See,
mean,
the
that's
NBA
fair.
The NBA screwed me. I need higher stakes now. They need to be getting extra money. I need a wacky court. I need something to get me interested in December basketball. Screw you, Adam Silver. Now I can't get all excited.
How about you get excited about our role players stepping up in tonight's game, because they're going to have plenty more opportunities to do that because the injury report is a little bit heavier than normal for the Phoenix Suns. So tonight, Kevin Durant will not play. He has a left ankle sprain, which happened in Tuesday's game against the Lakers. Grayson Allen also will not play. He's got a right groin strain, also happened in Tuesday's game against the Lakers. And of course, Bradley Beal still remains out for the team. On the Kings side of things, Chris Duarte is questionable, Alex Len is out, and Colby Jones is also out.
Remember when Chris Duarte was a thing for like 5
Yeah.
minutes? Not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played well with the Pacers.
Not so much. So that's the big question tonight, is who is going to step up for the Phoenix Suns. You're going to need a lot more from some of these guys, because KD and Grayson have both been in the starting lineup with Bradley Beal sidelined. So now we have 2 spots that somebody's going to have to slide into, which means 2 spots coming off the bench that somebody else is going to have to take those minutes for. Starters tonight are going to be Devin Booker, Eric Gordon, Josh Okogie, Keita Bates-Diop, and Yusuf Nurkic. So who are you looking to step up big in this one?
Yeah. Go ahead. You want to go?
Go ahead.
Kogi. Okogie's got to, I mean, today with Monk and De'Aaron Fox, he's going to have to show up. He's got to be a good point of attack defender. He's got to stay on the court, and he's got to hit a couple shots to justify him staying on the court. So this is a Josh Okogie game. If he can step up and have a good game on both ends, we got a shot. If we don't, it's going to be tough.
I mean, it's Bull, of course. I think you're going to have to see a guy like Chimezie play tonight, give you some minutes. Little's going to have to step up. But really, this is a Devin Booker production tonight. This game's going to go how Devin Booker goes. Does he score? Can he get some of these guys that aren't used to being in there in key moments, some easy looks, and help facilitate that? It all hinges on him tonight.
Hey, listen, if the bench don't play tonight and they don't play, or if they don't play well tonight, it's over. Like, they ain't got no chance to beat the Kings. The Kings are really, really good.
Yes.
Like, legit good. Devin Booker could have 35, but if nobody else helps him, it ain't going to happen.
Facts.
Like, I mean, they have got so much versatility on their in their lineup, and just about every guy can shoot from the perimeter outside of Sabonis. And if these role players don't bring it, they will find themselves down by double digits if they're not careful.
Yeah, because if you look at De'Aaron Fox, he's averaging about 30 points per game this season. So Devin, right around that same number, 30 to 35, they essentially cancel each other out if they both hit the max of sort of what they've been averaging this season. Domantas Sabonis, he's averaging 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. So that matchup between him and Nurk is also going to be huge. I know Frank Vogel gave Nurk some praise about his most recent stretch outside of the Lakers game, of course, and how he's been performing in those games. But he also talked about how he doesn't really think Nurkic is getting a lot of fair calls or called evenly with his opponents. And I do agree with him there, but that kind of is what it is. It's outside of our control. At some point in time, hopefully the whistle will turn in his favor. They'll allow him to be as aggressive as some of his opponents have been with him, or he can learn to avoid that situation.
I think Nurk is
that's a big matchup.
I think Nurk's going to play well tonight.
Me too.
Because Sabonis is not like a lengthy center, and he doesn't have tremendous athleticism. So that's a matchup made in heaven for Nurk. Like Nurk should be able to do what he needs to do down low. Also, Nate, man, that's terrible, man. Why you got to do that to Book, huh? He said it's not an elimination game, so Booker's going to play well.
I mean, he might. Let's be honest.
He has to. This is going to look very much like the Suns from 4 or 5 years ago, where Devin Booker has to carry so much of the offensive weight tonight. But Nurk, this is the kind of matchup like we saw against Jokic, where I think he can use his size. He can, body up against Sabonis on both ends of the court, and this won't hopefully be the kind of matchup where he gets in foul trouble early, because this isn't an athletic guy like we've seen him struggle against. So I like that matchup, but really Eric Gordon has to show up. Eric Gordon has to play smart, not decide that every time he's going to run in the lane and just throw it up. You need him to hit threes tonight to take advantage of some of those looks that Devin Booker is going to be able to get him. He's going to have to play big.
I mean, I think you could say even beyond Eric Gordon, any guy on this team who we've said they can shoot the three needs to shoot the three nice tonight. Like, look at Yuta, Nasir Little, KBD. Literally, you name them. We need threes from them, and they need to go down.
I tell you the wild card for me tonight that I'm pay close attention to. Jordan Goodwin tonight, big game.
Yeah,
because he's going to be able to give defensively cause some havoc against those guards, and he can shoot the three. He can get his foot in the paint. So I think Jordan Goodwin is going to be that sneaky wild card tonight. Well,
and they're going to need the defense. Defense is going to be huge tonight, because you're going to have to try to slow down the Kings in some way, because you don't have the kind of offensive firepower you've relied on. So if your defense isn't there tonight, I don't think you're winning a shootout. So very much Okogie, Goodwin, KBD to a lesser extent are going to have big defensive games for you.
Yeah, and that might be why Frank Vogel is leaning into the lineup with Josh Okogie and KBD in there. I mean, it's also probably a trust thing as well, but a little bit more defense in that lineup.
Y'all be crazy talking about standings 22 games into the
season. They're sixth, by the way, Jeff.
I've heard people talking about 2.5, 3 games out of first. I'm like, bro, you still got 60 games left. I don't look at that shit until February. Like, I've never looked at it until at least February. Halfway through the season, you got a good benchmark. Now you know what kind of moves you need to make. But talking about positioning it right now, it's a little early. No shade to you, Jeff.
You're a 3-game win streak away from moving up like 3-4 spots. It's really that simple. Remember the Celtics were like 25 and 25 after 50 games and went to the finals?
Utah last year at this time.
Yeah.
Towards
it's way too
the
early.
top of the West. So,
I mean, there's a lot of things that can change over the next couple of months, that's for sure. In the chat, Lo said, just hoping we all get well soon, win or loss. And Frank Vogel also talked about that. So the Suns are playing a lot of games at home. This is an opportunity for them to take advantage of picking up some wins and hopefully getting healthy. Here's what he said.
We have to stack together some wins. We have to stack them up, and but it's one at a time, and hopefully we're hitting this stretch, where we can be at full strength. We're not there yet. I don't know exactly what point we'll get there, but I do hope that it's pretty soon, and that the hope is that for the bulk of this 15-game stretch where we have 12 at home, we can have all or most of our guys out there and take advantage of these home games. We want to be a home dominant team. We haven't started off great at home. We're 500, and we need to be better. And this is a stretch for us to prove that.
Yeah. So 2 things, obviously. 12 of the next 15 games are at home. So if you're looking to catch Suns game, now is the time to do it, because you got plenty of them to choose from. And then kind of more subtle but interesting is he said, hopefully we can all get healthy sooner than later. Seeming like pointing in the right direction. I mean, yesterday at practice when he was talking about Kevin Durant and Grayson Allen missing tonight's game, he called them what he thinks are short-term injuries. Bradley Beal, of course, we're hearing more and more rumblings of him coming back sooner rather than later. I just have a hunch, like it's my gut telling me that we'll see maybe the big 3 before Christmas or by Christmas.
Give me it on
within
Christmas.
this homestand for sure, it feels like.
Yeah. I mean, and good teams take care of home court. And you've got, like you said, 12 of the next 15. This is where you have to start to separate a little bit, right? whether you have the big three or not. If you have one, just book, or two of the three, whatever the combination may be, you have to take care of home court right now. You have to come out of this with a fairly significant winning record. Like you said, you're 500 right now at home. That doesn't get it done if you have championship aspirations. So this is where you kind of buckle down and go into the new year looking good. If they don't, that's where you get a little concerned. If you don't take care of business in these 12 games at home, that's when I might go, maybe we got a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, they're home. Get some home cooking. They will get healthy. I think next week will probably be the last week that we don't see Brad Beal. So I think next week you can kind of come to the conclusion that you're not going to see Brad Beal. But that after next Friday, yeah, he's close. Katie should be back. Grayson should be good. So, Lindsay, I think you're going to get your big three before Christmas.
I love that
really
for
do.
us. I think we deserve it at this point.
I can tell you exactly the game it'll be.
What is that?
December 22nd, because I'm not working, and that's when it'll happen.
Probably. That's probably going to happen. You're not wrong, Espo. The other really good thing about a home stand like this, or at least 12 of 15 of the next 15 at home, is that you actually get to practice in a legitimate capacity when you're at home. So when the guys are on the road, they are still practicing, but they don't have their own space. So they're reliant on finding additional gyms outside. It's not their own equipment, whether that's for training, health perspective, or just going through things that they need to work on and tweak. They have way more opportunity to do that at home. So this is a nice stretch where they can really hone in on some of those issues that they've been dealing with and maybe add some things to their bag or elevate those things.
I think that's a quality point on the training side, too, because you have your own training room at the practice facility. You can focus on these things that way.
24/7 access to them as well.
Mm-hmm. And really try to, all the bumps, the bruises, all the things that you've been dealing with, try to get them right being at home.
Yeah.
100%, man. Like I said, home cooking. These guys get to sleep in their beds. They get to eat their food with their chefs and their masseuses and their therapy people. It's a big deal. You know, people don't understand the wear and tear these guys' bodies take from airplanes and hotels and flights and all that stuff. So,
well, I mean, just getting in it like 3-4 in the morning when you
Mm-hmm.
leave one city and get into the next. I mean, as much as it doesn't sound,
no, it's exhausting.
You're flying charter. You're in the best.
It doesn't
hotels.
matter. It's exhausting.
Matter. Yeah, it screws up your body clock.
It does.
It screws up all sorts of things. So being home does have a big impact.
Yeah, we have a couple super chats here. The first one is from Frank. Thank you, Frank. They said, hopefully we can handle the ball better and see Bobo.
Those two things don't work together. Do we not remember Bobo's inability to handle the ball?
I thought Bobo was our point guard.
No.
That's not what I heard. But yes, that is a key point. The Suns do need to take care of the ball. Psycho Blue also sent us one. Thank you, Psycho Blue. Said, the disciples want to know if the Suns drinking more milk and eating more potassium would prevent all these injuries.
No, I believe Saul said flogging is the only answer to this, right?
Saul, you good? You haven't talked in like 5-8 minutes.
Yeah, he just got this look on his face.
I have vehemently disagreed with everything, just about everybody. I love the optimism, so I'm trying not to shit on it.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Go ahead, shit on
But
it.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what people think about, oh, yeah, in a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we should have a full squad. Like, I just feel like we're all always setting ourselves up for failure inevitably because each one of these guys finds a way to get injured time after time after time again. And I'm just not, whatever. And you already know how I feel about the travel. Like, go cry me a river about that shit. I don't care. Sorry.
But that's why there's a home court advantage.
Yeah.
That's not just magical. Part of it is being home. Part of it's playing in front of your home crowd. I mean, those things do play a factor. It's not a whining and blaming it for anything.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, the first class travel.
Oh, yeah.
Staying at the Ritz, getting in at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, but from an actual
it's
basketball
bars,
and physical
man.
perspective,
play
it
the
does
game.
truly make a difference being at home.
Hell yeah, it does. Hell yeah. You're an athlete. How could you say that, bro? You play college basketball. You play a hard-ass game and got to get right on the airplane and then check in at 3 in the morning at a hotel and then get up for a shoot-around. Like, that wears on you, man. So, I don't know.
I agree with you on the big three thing, though. I don't bank on it. They got to win regardless of who's out there. And you got to do it at home. Like I said, whether you got Book or you got all three. I don't care. You got to win when you're home.
That review guy in the chat wants to know who hurt you, Saul.
I'm
The Suns.
you know, I will say this. I'm just tired of this mythical big three scenario that we haven't seen yet. We're a quarter of the way through the season. We still haven't seen it. And I feel like we just keep letting ourselves down because we keep anticipating that the next game is the one, or the next week is the one, or the next month is the one. And it just, it's fucking exhausting.
I mean, I get that, but I think if you hang your hat on that and that alone, and you don't have any hope, then what's the point?
Well, I mean, you heard it here first. Saul said the season's over, so pack it up.
That's not what I said.
And don't
at
tune
all.
in for postgame.
That's not what I said at all.
Listen, these guys are going to get back on They're going to be on the court together. I mean, at some point. If they're not, the season is over. So
No, yeah, you could have two of these three and still
Have a
accomplish
successful season.
what you want. It's harder, but you can, and we've seen it with Book and KD. Like, if we don't see Bradley Beal at all, which I don't think will be the case, but if we don't, but you have a healthy Devin Booker and a healthy Kevin Durant when the playoffs roll around, you still got a chance to do what you want to do.
Yeah, I think as there's currently sitting, and I talked to EJ about this yesterday because I kind of had this feeling like, you know what? I know we had big expectations of this team preseason, and we still think that they are going to be able to find their chemistry and put it all together. But I would say right now, as they stand, they are not a championship contender. You know, you're not a championship contender at 12-9 or 12-10. And there's a lot of things that need to be fixed, and things that are controllable. But it's kind of hard because you can't really find a flow because guys are in and out of the lineup constantly. And with a team like this, you need to build that chemistry. And I wish you thought that before the season, because of their veteran leadership, they would be able to find it a little quicker than they have, but they haven't. And so you get erratic play, you get inconsistent play from game to game to game with guys outside of Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. And that's, I mean, go up and down the roster. Eric Gordon, good game, bad game, good game, bad game. It's just all over the place. Same thing. KBD sometimes has a good game, sometimes doesn't. He's in and out of the lineup, can't hit the three for a long stretch of time now. He's not consistent enough. And everybody else seems to have these games. And it's just, they got to figure it out before it's too late.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not worried about the standings, because it doesn't fucking matter. They might be a completely different team in the second half of the season because they finally figured out the chemistry. These guys are healthy and they're all back together and they put it all together. Or they can be horribly bad in the second half of the season because guys are still injured. They can't find the chemistry and, whatever. So.
Yeah, I'm not even going to touch the record thing because there's a lot of things about records. We just finished saying 20 games into the season, we're not worried about the record. So I'm not going to sit here and say, the Suns are this and that. They're not a championship team. What I will say is these last couple games have people – I hate the roller coaster mentality. It wasn't too long ago, we were on a 7-game win streak. And everybody was, people were sitting here saying, they are deep, they are good, they are this, they are that.
Devin Booker's a true point guard.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just can't act like that didn't just happen. Couple tough games. I think once they get healthy and whole and get about 5, 7, 10 straight games of at least 2 of them on the court together, they'll be fine.
In the West, I don't think we know who's a championship contender. I think you can pencil in Denver just because they're the defending champions. But I'm not saying the Timberwolves, who are the 1 seed, are a championship contender at 16-4. I'm not saying OKC at 13-7 is. Then you got Los Angeles, Dallas, Sacramento, all right there with the Suns record. We don't know who is a contender in the West. But the one thing I hope that this team isn't doing, which could be leading that inconsistency, is sitting there like the fans are going, well, just wait till the big 3 comes back, because or till they play, because that can lead to guys being not fully locked in or not really figuring out how their role is as it's currently constituted, because they're like, well, it's going to change. So I want these guys to figure out how to lock in and win without having the big 3. We saw it in the 7-game win streak, but I need you to be consistent, and I think that's what we're all asking for out of this club.
Yeah, I get that. But it's also an 82 game season at minimum. Like there's going to be ebbs and flows. You're going to have highs. You're going to have lows. Like we're not winning all 82, even if we restarted the season today. Like it's just not happening.
There's things they have to fix.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. But I mean, tough game versus Denver. They could have won that game.
Yeah.
Tough game versus the Lakers. All the mistakes. Could have won that game. So I'm sitting here like I don't understand the panic. I don't understand the back and forth.
I don't know that it's panic. I think people just aren't having fun. As much.
It's not panic. It's just saying it what it is. Like they have a lot of things to work on. If you don't think that they don't have things to work on, I don't know what to tell you. That's a fact. They have a lot of things to work on. And going back to your point, they lost against the Nuggets, and the Nuggets also were hurt. They had Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon both out. Like we weren't the only ones to be afflicted with that, and we still lost that game. So it's like, in that 7-game win streak, you got the Timberwolves on the back-to-back.
Here we go.
And there was a bunch of teams that were trying to make.
I don't like that. I don't like that. You can't point out. You play who you play, and you can't point out.
I'm just saying that they didn't play elite teams during that stretch.
That's the best team in basketball right now, dude. They got 4 losses.
What team are you
Minnesota. They beat the dog shit out of Minnesota.
They were on the back-to-back. You can see it.
Oh, my God. So we weren't on back-to-backs during that 7-game winning streak when people were shorthanded? Of course we were. Like, I'm just saying, like, you can't pick and choose when the argument is beneficial. No, the Suns they haven't been healthy all damn year, and they went on a 7-game win streak.
Okay.
Like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I think we just had higher expectations than what has been delivered thus far, but just lower your expectations from here on out to an extent. Like, not from a whole. Like, championship is still the goal. Lower your expectations night in and night out of what it is that you expect this team to see until we get into a better groove, until we get into a better place. Like, we can't go into every single game thinking we're going to look how we thought we were going to look in the offseason when we assumed we would have the big 3 out there every night.
Just approach it like we all said we were going to. The regular season doesn't matter. That was what everybody said. Oh, none of this matters. It only matters when you get to the playoffs.
I've gotten to the point now where I have zero expectations of what this team can do, because I'm going to be disappointed either way if they don't win a championship. So right now, I'm just going to wait and see how they all fit together. And then at the end of the season, I'll be like, okay, yeah, I think they can win a championship when they get into the playoffs, or maybe they don't. I don't know. But as I sat here, this is personally, I have zero expectations of this team. I don't know what to expect it. I don't know what to expect every night.
How could you? I mean, because we don't even know who to expect out on the floor.
Exactly.
Isn't that kind of sports, though, to an extent?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, again, I know that you don't want an average team, Frank. I don't either. But not everyone can win every single year. Only one team can. But the journey and the friends we meet along the way are what matters the most. I'm kidding, but also for real though, like, I think we need to find a little bit more joy within Suns basketball just as a whole. I think it's been a little bit of a downer this year. And I think we need to kind of like get into the holiday spirit and find some positives.
The journey sucks when it's injuries that are slowing you down.
I get that, but we still get to hang out with our friends every night.
But also
have a good time.
When do we meet said friends?
But also that's what keeps you optimistic too, because you got the injury. Like, you have a clear reason why things may not be going the way they should be going. Now, I'd be sitting here feeling a whole lot different if the big 3 played 20 games and they were 11-8 or whatever they are, right? So that would make me feel different. But we haven't seen it yet. So I'll be honest, I have not gotten to a point where I'm frustrated. I feel like we're watching basketball and the guys are hurt.
I feel like Lindsay has gotten to a point where she's frustrated because we have like 40 things to do in 6
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this, Flex, since you were over there on the East Coast and you were living in New York during the time that the big 3 in Brooklyn were there, and they only played 17 games together as a group in 3 years, right? Yep. What were Brooklyn fans saying? Were they saying the same thing? Were they saying like, oh, it's just a matter of time before we get these 3 on the court? You know what I mean? Like, how? I'm just curious, and I'm not saying like I'm not trying to set us up for failure right now with this conversation. I'm genuinely curious because of the lack of time that those 3 spent on the court. Yeah. Were Brooklyn Nets fans saying the same thing, like, just wait, just wait, just wait?
A lot of them were. A lot of them felt like those 3 were that good that they were just like, hey, just as long as we got them in the playoffs. There was a percentage of people that kind of were a little bit more wary. And I will say this, that is the argument that scares the hell out of people the most. Is this another big three in Brooklyn?
Well, quit asking the question. Simple as that. Quit asking the question. Watch the movie. Let it play out.
We have no clue, and we won't know until the end of the year.
movie. And I'm the most guilty person of being like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next when I watch movies? But I'm telling you, just watch the movie. That's all I'm going to say. Try and find a little bit of positivity within whatever you can. Quit asking that damn question. I'm so tired of it. We're moving on. If the Suns lose, we can pick up this conversation later. But for now, who do you guys got tonight and by how much?
Well, after all that positivity, I'm going Kings by 4.
Listen, I get it. I have the Kings by 3 as well. We're not going to win 82 games. It is what it is. It's fine.
I mean, the Suns are undermanned right now. So
Yeah.
I just don't see how they can pull this game off. But, hey, I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I got Suns by 1. I do agree with y'all. This is a game the Kings should win. But I think they could get surprised tonight. I'm not just going to bail on this team tonight. I think they got a chance.
Yes.
Suns got a chance.
What do our friends over at BetMGM think about tonight's game?
Yeah, they have it a 2.5 point Kings favorite here, and it ain't good when you're at home to be underdogs. But we expect it. So
absolutely. What are you guys putting your money on tonight?
I said, fuck it tonight. I got a 7-leg parlay.
Oh,
let's go.
All right. So, and they're all PRAs.
Damn.
PRA for Devin Booker at 35. PRA for De'Aaron Fox at 30. PRA for Sabonis at 30, I believe. I have PRA for Nurkic. Monk at 14? 20, sorry. And then I have Nurkic at 25 and then Eric Gordon at 20.
Plus
and the Kings winning.
That's a lot for 5. That's what he says to me every time I do my leg. That's a lot for 575.
Yeah, because y'all be doing that shit for like 135.
No, I don't.
No,
8-leg parlay for like minus 110. Like,
I do that, but it's never over 3. Okay.
I'm going 1 and plus 400. I'm saying Domantas Sabonis wins the tip because I don't want to deal with having to wonder if my bet's going to hit.
That's
so let's
fair.
just get it all over with in the first 5 seconds of the game.
I almost did that, Espo, but then I reverted back to the same thing that I've been doing for the last couple of games.
You in the lead. Just keep rolling. Yeah.
I got money line for the Kings and both teams to score 100 or more points at a minus 115. Yeah, Saul, it's a minus 115. Who cares? Because look at what the leaderboard looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Good for me, bad for all of you. I have $119.18. Espo, bless your heart. You are minus 167.50. Oh my gosh. Saul, you are minus 65.50. Flex, you're minus 65.
I'm still holding that 9 cents over Saul, though.
I'm not worried till I'm down 200. That's when I panic.
You about to be down 200 before Christmas at this rate.
I got 7 leg, but this one's for 775 plus 775. Book to score 25, 8 assists. Nurkic, what's that? PRA of 20, right?
Do you want me to read it for you?
Yeah, bro, that's like, yeah,
all right,
go,
so
please,
where are we? We're at player points, De'Aaron Fox 20 plus. Player points, Malik Monk 15 plus. Player points, assists, rebounds, Domantas Sabonis 25. Total points under 235.5.
That's the one that's going to be the make or break there.
Total point?
We got to keep them under, which is going to be hard, but if they keep them under, the Suns can win this game.
All right. Well, fingers crossed the Suns with this game. Listen, I don't mind losing my bet. If it's for a Suns win, I will take that each and every night. Listen, guys, try and find some positive in tonight's game when you're watching it on Arizona's Family Sports. Wherever you live in Arizona, visit azfamily.com and click Suns Games for listing information for your area. AZ Family is a great resource to help you find Phoenix Suns games on Arizona's Family Sports. And all you need to watch is an antenna. Okay, meet us back here after this one wraps up. Hopefully we'll all be in a good mood.
Let's go,
but
Sabonis opening tip.
Okay, bye.
We all silly like the mayor.